Yeah, we got out to a great start. I thought it was an excellent match for Oscar Nellis right off the bat, and picked up a major decision right away, and then Northern State really got on a roll, and credit to them. They wrestled tough all the way through the lineup there. We knew we were probably going to win some matches in the upper weights, so we knew we needed to battle some wins out, in the middle there, and just wasn't quite able to do it tonight, I guess. We didn't do a very good job on the bottom. We gave up a lot of little turns, and I think we just didn't do a very good job of managing matches, managing our bonus points. We gave up multiple bonus points right at the end of matches where we were giving up scores right at the end of the match, and that's not real typical of our guys. Typically we take a lot of pride in outscoring our opponents in the third period, and so we just really made a lot of technical errors, and I think just like I said, weren't managing the matches real well. But we did have some nice wins. Keegan moved to 3-0 at 84, and Jordan bounced back after kind of a tough loss last week, and got a big win there, and then Dustin Swisher got his first win of the year here now too. So definitely some good things to build on, and there's a lot that we got to get cleaned up. We lost a tough one to Mary last week, and we got to go now and try and turn that around next week. And so we got to really get some things cleaned up, and should be a fun one next week. And so yeah, it feels like a pretty tough start for us right now, but we're halfway through, and I think we've got 3 winnable duels here coming up, and so we've got to really finish strong. To work our way up in the conference a little bit here.
Talk about those 3, Keegan, Barry, Dustin, Swisher, and Jordan Will. What did they do well tonight to get those victories?
Well, I mean, it started with Keegan, after we lost 6 in a row, I think, and so it's tough to stay up for that kind of a match, but he's just been really solid for us. He's been in that sort of a position before, and he's very consistent, and so he wrestled a really solid match. He was up I think 6 points or 7 points there with riding time at the end of the match, and I'd like to see him go and get that score and get a bonus point there. And he ended up giving up a score there at the end. So, but solid match for him. All 3 of his matches this year have looked really good. He's getting in good control. He knows where he's at in the match at all times, and smart wrestler, solid defense. So real positive performance there, and then Dustin Swisher wrestled a lot better this week than it seemed like he's had some tough opponents in the last couple of weeks, but it seems like he'd been wrestling kind of not to lose, not to give up bonus points, and tonight you could tell he went out there to win that match, and wrestled a solid match all the way through there. So and then same with Jordan, just really solid match all the way through. We did much better on top tonight. I think in 5 matches we had riding time, 4 or 5 at least. We had a riding time point, which we haven't been getting many of those the last couple weeks. So we made a big emphasis to try and improve in the top position, and so I like to see our guys being a little more aggressive there tonight.
You mentioned Keegan Berry's consistency, and he's been great throughout the year, probably your most consistent wrestler. Do you think you could see him sneaking towards that top 10, getting some recognition that way?
Yeah, he moved up to number 4 in the region or in the conference just this last week in the most recent rankings, and I think one of the guys that's ahead of him is Southwest, so we'll still see him. Fortunately, we didn't get to see St. Cloud, who's there above him at that weight, and so I think if he can move into that top 3, heading into the region tournament, he should have a heck of a chance to qualify for nationals. And we feel if you qualify out of our region for the national tournament, you've got a heck of a chance of being an All-American. So the main focus is placing high enough in that region tournament to get a national tournament berth. Right.
Maybe some extra jump in the guy's steps, trying to get vengeance after dropping that close one.
Definitely. And I mean, we had a triple overtime match at heavyweight. We typically count on Jordan for a win there, so we look to turn that match around. We lost a pretty close one at 157. That's a match we could also turn around. 133 was fairly close, so we got to look to turn a couple of those matches around. But it could easily go 5-5, so the bonus points are just going to be huge. And I think they had 2 bonus in the last one, and we had 1. And so we got to find a way to win that battle the next time around here.
On a similar note, you mentioned the strength of the region and the conference. How difficult is it preparing just for a week in and week out? You know you're going to get a very quality opponent.
Yeah, I mean, we really like that because that prepares you for the postseason. That's I would way rather have it that way than just going out and having teams that you can just crush every week. I mean, it sure is fun to win, but we want to see the top competition. And when we do get outside on a normal year, when we get outside of our region, we're not looking for easy wins. We're looking to see some of the best teams in the nation, and to see how we're stacking up against those teams. And the nice thing is. Seeing this tough of opponents week in and week out, every win's a big win for your individuals, and it puts you on the map a little bit on more of a regional and national scale.
We had a newcomer in the lineup, Caden White at 174. Took the loss, but what did you see from him?
I saw a good fight from him. I threw a challenge brick early on where that, if we would have got that one right, we would have had the lead, I think, going into the, second period. And then, he got, gave up some scores late in the match, but pretty solid first match, wrestling a veteran there. And so I was pretty pleased with his first time out. He's got to clean up his defense a little bit, and then he'd be right in there. So, we felt good about Caden in there.
You mentioned those other 3 victors out there in the heavyweights or the heavier side, but you got that other one leading off with Oscar at 125. How important is it for your team to kind of get out on that good step with Oscar?
It's huge, and in recent years we've always had that with Dina Arvalo, and so we feel like starting out that 125 it's a very important weight class. Those bookends, 125 and heavyweight, are super important, and we've been fortunate to be really good at those weights. And Oscar's looking better and better each week. He took a loss in week 1 to Mankato, but that guy's a national qualifier from last year, and nationally ranked, again this year, and we had a 1-point match with him. So I think Oscar's right in it. He's the type of guy that if he's on, late in the season at that region tournament, he's the type of guy that could find himself in a position to potentially qualify for the national tournament. So great job by him. The one thing he hasn't been doing lately is he hasn't been riding guys very long and really putting pressure on him from the top position, and he did that tonight. He had over 4 minutes of riding time. So we were really happy to see that from him tonight. So that was great to see.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.